Every November, the city of Melbourne doesn't just wake up to a race. It wakes up to history. Streets go silent, office screens freeze, and the entire nation holds its breath for one moment. 2 miles of thunder, where fortunes are made, legends are born, and hearts are broken. This is the story of the 2025 Melbourne Cup, a race that became more than sport, more than luck, more than speed. It became a lesson in faith, struggle, and destiny. At the center of it all was a horse that wasn't supposed to be there, a chestnut mare named Southern Spirit. She wasn't bred in one of the elite Irish stables or owned by a billionaire syndicate. She came from a small training farm in rural Victoria, with a track made of dirt and fences patched together by hand. Her jockey, Liam Carter, had been chasing his first major win for nearly a decade. He'd been through injuries, missed opportunities, and the constant whisper that he was a good hand, but never great. Yet somehow, against every odd, this unlikely duo had made it to the biggest stage in Australian racing. The week before the race, the odds told the story the world believed. Southern Spirit sat at 41-1, barely a mention in expert predictions. The favorites were powerhouses, the Irish import Kingdom Edge and the Japanese champion Haruto Sky, both carrying million-dollar pedigrees and world-class trainers. Reporters barely looked twice at the mare from Victoria. But behind the quiet smiles of her team was something no one could measure in numbers: resilience. The morning of the Cup was electric. You could feel the tension through the air like static. 100,000 people filled Flemington. The grass glistened under a crisp blue sky, and around the world millions tuned in to witness what would become one of the most unpredictable races in recent memory. Liam mounted up, gave Southern Spirit a gentle pat, and whispered a single phrase: "Let's just run our race." The gates flew open. 24 horses burst into motion, a wave of color and muscle. Haruto Sky took an early lead, his stride long and deliberate, while Kingdom Edge sat close behind, waiting for the right moment to strike. Southern Spirit was nowhere near the front. She sat in 17th, boxed in, calm, unhurried. The commentators barely mentioned her name. One lap in, the pace began to tighten. Horses that had started strong began to fade. The field shifted, elbows bumped, dirt kicked up like smoke. Liam Carter stayed patient, eyes fixed ahead, feeling the rhythm of his horse. Every corner, every stride, he could sense she had more to give. But the right moment hadn't come yet. Then, around the 800-meter mark, the race began to change. Kingdom Edge made a move too early, a burst of speed that caught Haruto Sky off guard, forcing both to battle for the lead. The crowd roared, thinking this was a showdown they came for. But in the chaos, something subtle happened. The pack opened, and for the first time, a clear line appeared down the inside rail. Liam didn't hesitate. He tapped his mare once, leaned forward and whispered, "Now!" What happened next became replayed across every sports screen in the country. Southern Spirit surged through the opening, her strides devouring ground. One by one, she passed the fading leaders. The commentator's voice cracked mid-sentence as they realized what was happening. Southern Spirit is coming from nowhere. The crowd's noise swelled from disbelief to thunder. At 200 meters to go, she was shoulder to shoulder with Haruto Sky. Liam gave her one last push, and she responded like a force of nature. Every year of doubt, every rejection, every lonely morning of training poured into that final stretch. The finish line blurred, and when they crossed, no one knew who had won. Silence. Then, after what felt like forever, the announcement came: Southern Spirit by a nose. The stadium erupted. Liam Carter dropped his head, tears mixing with sweat and champagne. It wasn't just a win, it was a resurrection. The underdog from Victoria had beaten the giants of global racing. In the aftermath, interviews poured in. Experts tried to explain it. Maybe it was timing, maybe it was track condition, maybe luck. But those who watched closely knew it was something deeper. It was belief. Belief in a small stable's dream. Belief in a jockey's perseverance. Belief that greatness doesn't come from bloodlines or money. It comes from heart. In the days that followed, Southern Spirit became a national symbol. News anchors talked about her like a folk hero. Kids in classrooms drew her picture. Trainers across the country felt hope again. And Liam? He didn't call it a miracle. He called it proof. Proof that in a sport ruled by data, stats, and odds, there's still room for something you can't measure. And that's what makes the Melbourne Cup timeless. Because every year, beneath the glamour and the noise, it reminds us of something simple, that no matter how far behind you start, no matter how many times you're overlooked, one perfect moment of courage can change everything. So as we look ahead to next year's race, the question remains, will there ever be another Southern Spirit? Maybe, maybe not. But if you listen closely on race day, beneath the roar of the crowd, the pounding hooves, and the crack of the whip, you might just hear the whisper of dream, galloping into legend, generate an image that tells the story above. Make it very clear and well lit.